Ali was asked, "Mal isti'dad lil maut." You know, you talk so many times about preparing for death. What does it mean to prepare for death? And Emirul-mu'minin summarized that in 3 sentences. And I'm sure we can remember it. Not necessarily Arabic wordings, but the theme. Number 1, he says, Ada'ul fara'id, fulfilling the duties. And number 2, wajtanabil maharim, to refrain from what is forbidden. And number 3, wal-ijtimal ala al-makarim, and to acquire noble character. 3 things, he says. Make sure you do your duties, you fulfill your wajibat, make sure you refrain from what is haram, and number 3, acquire good akhlaq, you know, makarim al-akhlaq, as many hadiths talk about it. And the emphasis, you know, he could have just ended with wajibat and muharramat. Do this, refrain from the other. But he's singling out on the level of what is wajib and what is to be refrained as haram. Then he says, akhlaq. And this is for every place, beginning with home and the family members. Then we are talking about workplace, with our colleagues. Then we talk about the akhlaq and the masjid and the Husainiyah and the religious gatherings with our brethren in faith. And then you talk about akhlaq in the society at large with those whom Emirul-mu'minin in another context describes as brethren in humanity. Nadhirun laka fil khalq. Not only that, if you look at the seerah of the Ahlul Bayt, they even prove their noble character even when they deal with zalimeen and oppressors. Because that is also kind of a jihad bil akhlaq, where you make the enemy realize the difference between you and me. That although you have been so bad to me, even though I had the ability to inflict harm on you, but I don't want to stoop down to your level. And so this is where we talk about the issue of akhlaq. And then Ali says, and this is the promise of Ali. He says, if you do these 3 things, fulfill the wajibat, refrain from what is haram, and acquire the good character and akhlaq, ثُمَّ لَا يُبَالِي أَوَقَعَ عَلَى الْمَوْتِ أَوْ وَقَعَ الْمَوْتِ عَلَيْهِ. Then Ali guarantees that then you wouldn't care whether the death comes upon you or you go towards the death. Because you are ready for it. Once you have prepared, there is nothing, no worry there. When the death comes, it comes because you are ready for that. And then Emirul-mu'minin talks about himself where he says, وَاللَّهِ مَا يُبَالِي ibn Ebi Talib أَوَقَعَ عَلَى الْمَوْتِ أَوْ وَقَعَ الْمَوْتِ عَلَيْهِ. And he says, by Allah, this son of Abu Talib doesn't care at all whether the death comes on him or he goes towards the death. Salawat. And these are the values that we have to, always cherish, remember, and live by our example. These are the values which are for all the time, all the places. There is no concept of generation gap when it comes to the values taught to us by the Ahlul Bayt. We can't say these are old things, irrelevant to our life here. Or there is this issue of generation gap. No. Look at the events of Karbala. It's very interesting to see that, the grandson of Ali, by the same name, Ali al-Akbar. I don't remember exactly his birth, but I don't think he saw his grandfather. But look at how the values went from one generation to another and from second to third. That when this caravan was moving towards Karbala, Imam Hussain alayhi salam was riding in the front. Ali Akbar was a little bit behind him. And that is where, while riding, Imam Hussain saw a vision that somebody is saying that this caravan is moving towards the death and the death is coming towards the caravan. And Imam Hussain alayhi salam at that time uttered the words, Inna lillahi wa inna ilayhi raji'un. The young son riding behind When he heard that, he moved forward, and then he asked his father that what you had said is the truth, but what is the occasion? Why did you say it now? And he described the vision. Look at the response of Ali Akbar and remember the words of Ali. He asked only one thing. Ya abata alasna ala al-haq. Oh my father, are we not on the truth? And Hussein says, yes, of course we are on haq. And then Ali Akbar says, La nubali. We do not care whether the maut comes towards us or we go towards the death. Same wordings, from the grandfather to the grandson. And this is what we have to maintain. We have to learn this ourselves, live by it, and inculcate these values from the Ahlul Bayt to our children and the next generation, inshallah. Allahumma salli.